and welcome to a live episode this time, guys. I told you we were going to be live this time with a GZ Sports again. Jax-Box here with Randy Savage again as we vamos,
my friends.
Yeah, so there's
How
a
are y'all
lot.
doing today?
Hey, I'm fine. Some things are on my mind, some things I have to get out on this program. So we're gonna head straight in first segment of the first episode of the Jax-Box segment. This is just me rambling for 5 minutes. Sometimes I talk a lot of shit, so maybe I just ramble sometimes. And today, usually I would leave it to speak about an upcoming under 23 player, talk about rumors, anything like that. But this week I wanted to speak about a different type of football, and that's the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa had a nasty looking injury on Thursday night against Cincinnati. But questions have got to be asked about the medical staff at Miami. I mean, on Sunday, hit his head against the Bills. And we all saw when he got up, we all saw how he was moving. We all saw he was not in the game anymore. He was supposed to be in concussion protocol. Now, whether he did pass the tests at halftime, we don't know. But for him to come back into the game, it was very risky. For him to play against Cincinnati, it was even more of a risk, seeing as he could barely move after the game. He could barely keep his head up, keep himself awake, and not in a sleeping way. I mean, he could barely keep himself in the moment, and that's the main issue with this. I mean, we could have seen the death of a player on Thursday night, and it's very frustrating because he didn't need to be in this position. You know, Josh McDaniels, first year head coach. You know, I know he wants to win, but this is not the way to go about it. You know, I don't care if Tua said, "Hey, I'm good." I don't care if the medical staff said, "Hey, he can play another, half a game." No, the way he went down on Sunday is all I needed to say. He can't play a few days after. There's no way he'd be able to play just a few days after. I mean, and then on Thursday he got hit, and they were still saying that he had no concussion leading up to the game. It's just really, really frustrating. And I'm not a Miami fan, but the welfare of players is always supposed to come first. The NFLPA, they're doing their investigation, and I really hope they come to a resolve really, really soon, because a player of his talent, a former top ranked talent out of college, out of Alabama, should not be going through this. I mean, it's poor. It's poor management. It's poor from the medical staff. I don't want to blame the teammates, but they could have stepped in. I mean, I keep watching. I watched the game because I wasn't home. I watched the highlights. I watched the incident. And I keep saying, if this was about 5-10 years ago, when there were players like Bobby Wagner, Ray Lewis, or Troy Polamalu, and Tua was playing through that concussion, and he got hit, we wouldn't have any more NFL for the rest of the year. We wouldn't have any more NFL. There would be a funeral. Simply put as that, because those men, when they see you there, they won't say, "Oh, he's carrying a knock. Oh, he was ruled out last game." No, they're coming in hot, and when they collide, they hit hard. So
Honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is why not a lot of countries adopt the American style of football. It is dangerous, it is reckless, and then there's decisions like these ones that just make you question it all. A guy picks up an apparent concussion, right? The medical staff says he's fit to go. Cool. You don't play him the next game. If Messi is to get a knock on his foot this game, I'm pretty sure Galtier wouldn't just chuck him into the starting 11 next time when he's playing against a Marseille or a Lyon. It doesn't matter the opposition who you play him against. Yes, you want to win, but the player's safety comes before it all. And I think some serious questions need to be asked to the NFL directly on this. Because the way I see the situation, as you said, this man, he could have easily been more serious and led to probably an unwanted death and an unnecessary death at that. I think a lot of questions need to be asked of the medical staff, needs to be asked of the coaches, and it needs to be asked of the NFL for allowing him to play and allowing him to carry on. It's just ridiculous, honestly. It's honestly ridiculous. You don't play around with a human being. You don't play around with, especially head injuries. We all know this. In every single sport, a head injury has the most chance of literally ending your career and ending your life, right? So I don't get, why would you put him back on? There's just serious questions and concerns about safety. And honestly, I still can't believe the entire situation and how it progressed.
Yeah, man, and I really think that the entire medical staff should be fined, should be suspended, should be fired. I don't think they should be allowed to keep working after this, after they've put him in such a disastrous position where Tua could possibly have not played again. We don't know if he's not gonna play next game, definitely. He shouldn't play. I don't think he should play for the rest of the season. But I don't know if he'll be able to play afterwards. How do you know this has not just ended his career because of one stupid mistake that you guys saw coming?
Honestly, it's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd. But you know, in typical fairness and typical humanity, we extend our wishes and prayers to the player and his family. We hope and pray that he has a speedy recovery, and especially that we'll see him on a football pitch. Not necessarily soon, but once he's back to his best, once there's no more concerns of injury, once there's absolutely no chance of this reoccurring, then I'd love to see him back on the football pitch. Well, not pitch, field.
Yeah, and that's just all we want to see. We want to make sure that Tua's alright, that he can get up and walk away from this. Well, that ends the Jax-Box segment for the first time. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in about 30 seconds to begin the actual show. Stay tuned. And thanks for waiting. We just have to get that off my chest. But we are into what we usually do, speaking about the football that occurs when the ball hits your foot. So let's go. First up on the agenda, Jamaica lost to Argentina. I don't think that was a surprise. We lost 3-0, and it took Messi brilliance to win. So I'll point the first question to you, because you're an Argentine fanatic. You've been following them the whole year. You know what they're about. Was this a vintage Argentina performance? I know they rested a couple of players, but how was this compared to their other games?
Alright, to be completely honest with you, right? Argentina, they came out saying that they wanted to do away with us easily. And whilst on the face of it, it seems like that is the case. No, that certainly was not the case. Although Argentina did play well and made chances for themselves, Julian Alvarez getting an early goal in the 13th minute after good play and a good spell of possession from Argentina. Jamaica just defended. Hallgrisson told the players, look, Argentina is the best team in the world. Right? We know by ranking they probably are, but personally speaking, yeah. They're the best team in the world. We can't give them any chances. We can't make any silly mistakes in our box. And Jamaica just defended. They did extremely well until a little man by the name of Lionel Messi came on. One step, put it on his left, pass play, it's in. Simple. And then the Jamaicans made the mistake of making a foul right on the edge of the box, after which he put the ball right underneath the wall and yes. But this
Hey man, you still there?
left, right? That's one. Secondly, they did not need to press a full starting line. They are on the brink of the World Cup. The next time they wear that jersey, it's going to be in Qatar, right? they do not need to unnecessarily risk any players. Jamaica is doing this just to see how Hallgrisson's tactics can work. And while it was a bit of a mismatch on paper, I'm really proud of how the Jamaicans played. And I hats off to the Argentinians for how well they did as well. Right? It's a two-pronged assault. There was no, on paper, Argentina blew Jamaica out of the water, but there was no losers in this match. Both teams can come away from a well-thought-out match. Argentina with a victory, Jamaica with a glimpse of what we can expect from them and the greatness that we should have in the future.
Yeah, I mean, Blake made 5 saves in the game. I know we didn't have any shots on target, but the defensive structure was better. Hallgrisson did say in one of his interviews that he doesn't mind if we get beat by a better team, but if we lose due to silly goals, that's an issue. And clearly, Lowe missed the memo after he created that mistake for Julian Alvarez to score. But after that, it was just Messi magic, or else the game would have ended 1-0. And you can see that it's developing. I know that we're not at full strength. Ethan Pinnock is out. Liam Moore still out. Greg Lee had to leave the camp with injury. So there's still some other players to come in. There was no Devon Williams either. So we got a lot of quality players that we can bring in, quality to our level, that we can bring in to be better. We have a game against Cameroon coming up soon, so hopefully we can execute much better. I mean, they're not the attacking unit like Argentina, but they are still a good team with Brian and Burma up front. But for this game, I want to know, Hallgrisson's tactics, were they fully on show? Like, I know it would be hard to do, seeing as we only had about 34% possession, but were those tactics on show in the way the team progressed the ball?
Alright, well, in moving forward and the knocking off the ball, we certainly did do much better than Atapa Whitmore did. We were controlling the play. Obviously, it was just that final pass that needed to be placed. We misplaced a lot of them, as you can probably tell by my tone. But lest we forget, the defensive tactics were on full display that night. Jamaica, they were not allowing the players any time. They were closing them down with such tenacity. One player moving forward, the other one covering behind him. We saw it. It was literally what led to that Messi free kick. But however, aside from that, really, the tactic worked amazingly throughout the match. Stopping Alvarez on multiple occasions, stopping the midfield by just having that one or two players behind the ball that are committed to the tackle. They're not just laying back. We've seen it in the past where Jamaica players are backing off, and then a shot and it's just in. Right? We did not see that and for that game. We saw the players stepping in. They backed off tactically when they knew they had no shot. When they knew the Argentinians had no chance to take a shot and score, or even attempt to take a shot. And the Jamaicans just played it out expertly. As I said, it was literally just Messi brilliance that made it for him to get that second goal. There's not really much the defense could have done there, because the two defenders stepped in to try to block it. The ball just went expertly and just neatly placed right between two of them. Blake couldn't see it in time. It made a bounce as well. Blake wasn't getting there any at all, and it went in. The second one, as I said, the tactics was on full display. The defensive tactics. They stopped the ball, got it clear. Argentina won it again, brought it back. They stopped the ball again. It ricocheted to Messi. Messi danced in as per usual, and he was fouled right on the edge of the box. And then just the calm free kick underneath the wall. There was also a player underneath the wall stopping the free kick. I don't know how it still got in, but that's just Messi magic for you.
Yeah.
But I'm fully proud of both teams for that performance. I think we have a lot to be proud of and a lot to look forward to on Hallgrisson.
Yeah, we have Hallgrisson for the